Welcome back to Let's Be Real, Journey Unfiltered, Episode 8. The space where real stories meet real healing. Once again, I'm your host, Tremoya Miller. Last episode, Sandra spoke about her powerful testimony in part 1. And I know you're anxious, but we're going to jump right into part 2 right now. Stay tuned.
Stay with.
This is crazy, because I kind of resonate a lot with what you're saying. And that is very manipulative, that is very controlling, because he knows he's the one inflicting the pain and the hurt on you. But he's telling you that you're the problem. Mm-hmm. You need to get over the fact that he has somebody else. Just get over with it. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Yeah. So how did it lead now to... So he initiated counseling. I know you're the problem. Mm-hmm. So what was the vibe like? Because you're still living with him, right?
Yes. So we got married the April, mm-hmm. and everything started going downhill from the May.
Right. From we found out.
And then we decided to end everything. Mm-hmm.
Did you guys talk just counseling though? Did you talk to, let's say, even your pastor at your church? Mm-hmm. Did you guys go to your pastor? Did you seek help from or even counseling from other persons, even your parents? Did you tell his parents? They knew? Everybody knew?
Everybody knew.
So what would
they were trying to... But remember, when someone make up their mind about something, so they're going to do something. They're going to do what they want to do,
Well,
so
that is
even
true.
Though he was telling me, oh, we can fix this and we can this and that and whatever it was.
So no amount of counseling or advice from friends or parents never helped. He did his thing.
Right, but even if he wanted really and truly for us to work, I was no longer interested because I was going down a path where I didn't want to go. Mm-hmm. In regards to this girl, she was always trying
Constantly.
Right, so she had tried to make trouble now and want us to be in argument because I've never found myself in argument with any female. Like, me not cussy and them things. And I'm on the internet, we are cursing at each other.
So you started responding?
Yeah, me start responding now. Like, me I say, girl, really? Wow. Some things that she say, and like, if you whatever did good, like, some stupid things that females
But you know that's the enemy, right?
I know.
That's the enemy,
like, no, I'm not going to do this. Like, no, I'm not going to do this. So I say, I'm done. So I made up my mind.
That is
and I moved
crazy.
Out. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's so funny because a part of me is like, some of these women don't even want the man. They just want to break up the marriage. Is that their assignment is simply to just break up the marriage? Because even if the breakup happens, sometimes they don't end up being with the person, Well,
they are still together. Yeah, they are still together. So they have been together for quite a while now. And I'm happy for them. Yeah, they're still together. At one point, she was having issues with him and other females. And she came to me.
No, stop it.
But...
stop it. She comes to you for what? Advice?
She don't remember that. I complain. She came to me one time complaining, oh Lord.
Sandra, she's more than a troublemaker. She's more than a troublemaker.
But they are together now and they're okay, I think. And I want them to be all right because we have a son to take care of. It's his only child as well.
So how is your son? How is he in all of this?
He went through a lot, to be honest, and I don't think he's completely over it because sometimes he says some things where I know that he's still, hurt about everything. But he's doing well, thank God, in school, and we go to church together, and he's a head boy now.
That's amazing, that's good. He's still excelling in school.
Oh, yes, he's doing very well. He's a good child, and he's getting ready for PEP.
Wow. So is his dad, though, a part of his life, still playing the role of a dad, being there 100%?
He's there.
Okay. Just leave it right there.
Yes, he's there.
We leave it right there.
Yes, he's there.
So, my God. What year you got married? What year you said?
2018.
2018. And by the May, you found out. How long did the marriage actually last before they got even together? Well, they've been together before you got married.
Right.
But how long did your marriage actually last? Separation, when did that happen?
Okay, so I moved out the following February. Okay. But we got separated from the November before.
Wow.
So we got April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November.
8 months?
Yes.
In 8 months? So, guys, wanna realize that you know the person for 12 years? You know this man for 12 years. You're friends. You have a foundation. And then after 1 month of being married, you found out that he's cheating on the honeymoon at that. On the honeymoon. And within 8 months.
That was my present, my wedding present.
That was a wedding present. No apology given up to now. No explanation.
You know, him apologize and stuff, but you know the regular, oh, I'm sorry, let's try again and all, you know, because he came back. Like when I moved out, he came back and he apologized and he wanted us to try again. He wanted us to try again. But I was done.
Here's a problem. Because for you to keep saying that and still going back to whoever is actually quite crazy.
Yeah, I was done.
Because if you want something, you'll do everything. You'll empty everything and and pour your all to make it work.
Yeah.
My God.
I took it hard there, you know. I might be sitting here now smiling, but it was
devastating.
I lost weight. I did get maga.
And you know the worst part about it? You take on this new last name. I mean, I can kind of resonate with this part. So you take on a new last name, right? And you still got to work and everybody, oh, Mrs. Wright, or I have to answer and you're not really sharing. You can't really share as much just yet because you have to kind of protect.
It was too soon, like everybody, and because the wedding is so big, I'm invited so much people.
Yes.
Maybe kind of feel away.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah, so I felt bad. Like I couldn't tell them say my bridesmaid they knew because I'm friends.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
And that's embarrassing, you know, because I mean, even when I had faced my whole trauma with my marriage, even though those were my girls, my friends, sisters, I found it hard to tell some of them out of embarrassment.
Yeah.
Like, how do you explain that? Come on. And people have invested so much time. Remember, 12 years. And everybody's looking forward to your wedding. They're like, finally, Sandra and this young man can finally do the right thing. And you were excited to go back to church. What was your relationship with God like at this point?
Oh, I've never prayed so much in my life.
Wow.
Well, apart from when I got sick.
Yeah.
But I've never prayed so much. Like, I walk around the house. At one point, I thought I was losing my head. Because I go buy olive oil, you know. And I start use olive oil I put on the door.
What was the prayer like though? Were you praying for your marriage?
I was.
Wow.
I was. So when we were still living together, and before I moved out, I was praying for my marriage. I was praying. And I just talked to God. And I said, God, listen, I'm my man, listen, I'm my husband, and I want him, you know, it to go work, you know, because
no weapon formed against this
when
marriage
you join
shall prosper.
together, no man will put us under.
Same
I believe
way.
in that, and I just a pray, I go and I just a pray. I just a pray. And then I just get tired, like.
Yeah, because it's one-sided. You know, I've always said this, you know, and I've said it in the first couple episodes. It's just like salvation. It's a choice. And God will never force anybody to choose him. Just like a marriage. Sandra, you can want your marriage and pray from now till morning and say, Lord, please. And your husband over there is saying, well, you don't want this. What can you do about that? You pray for him, but he doesn't. It's his choice.
He wasn't fighting for me like
he
I was fighting for him.
And he didn't want to fix it.
And I was fighting for him, but
and really actually you can't fight for him, you know, because God is beckoning to him to come and forgive and make things right. Be accountable for your actions. Right. If you sin against your brother, go and confess your sin. There's a scripture that says that. So he's supposed to come, lay everything out at the altar, repent for what he has done, but he kept going back. And that's hard. So he's constantly jabbing at you. So it's like a push and pull. Him tell you the things that you want to hear. You feel good counseling. And you're like, wow, okay, he's making an effort. You feel good. And then him just jab you again. When you look, you go on Facebook, you see another. Him gone, yes, you see him out.
It was terrible. And then it was getting more and more harder to deal with. Because he at this time, when we were living together, married and everything, he bought me, in the few months we were married, he bought me a car.
Wow.
And I think it was a wedding gift. He said he bought me a car. And one night, I can't remember, I went to church. He didn't want to come. So I went to church, me and my son. And when I got to my park, I parked behind his car. And he said, Sunday I'm going out and I'm going to a work dinner party thing. So I say, I don't know what I say, but anyways, I said to him, say, drive your car now. Because I know you're woman ago. I never said woman, I said girl. I said girl.
Girl.
Right. So I say, I want to tell man, I want to tell the foolishness, man. Cut out the foolishness. I'm my friend, them go, man. What happened to you? And I say, just don't drive, man. He said, hit me, I drive. And I said, if I make her drive, if that you better give me. And she in it, I want to crash.
Lord of mercy.
God forgive me, I don't know why I missed that. I said, I want to crash and the car mash up.
You just anger, you know, that's anger.
And I church, I come from me, but I got my bed and I'm going to leave. And that I tell him.
Yeah.
He came home about 2:30 in the morning. And when he came home, he put down the key. I hear when him come in, because I couldn't sleep, I was up. Him come in and he put on the key on the dresser. And he sat on the bed. And him said, I always tell you, say, I've got more to know.
Them crash?
I mean if them crash? Car crash. Mash up right off. They did. Never did them, but them lucky.
Oh my gosh.
Crash right on Glen Road in a post, in a light post.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Mighty God. So the two of them were in the car for true?
You know, I can't prove it. So I don't want
and
to
he never confessed
never admit it, no. But they were. Because them got the same. Them work at the same place.
I don't know how you do that, you know. Because every day I get up and go work. That me I think about, you know. Oh, you're going to work to your work wife.
But I start get paranoid and then I was hard to be married to. Let me just say that.
Yeah, I get where it started changing you.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, he used to say things I understand when he used to go through. Because he went through a lot with me, you know. Because when I found out, it was like...
You know, and give yourself grace. Because that is nothing easy to deal with. Really and truly, he should have been, the time he took spending with her, constantly going back, he should have been rebuilding your trust. For your heart to be settled, for you to be able to be you again, to heal. But he never did that. So he kept jabbing at the wound, and you're changing. It's going to change you because you're hurting and you're going to start look at what you said. You would have never found yourself saying something like that before, but no, your thoughts, flesh take over. And you're still praying. But all of this is happening all at once. So at what point did you say, God, I'm done?
The Sunday night when he told me that he didn't know who to choose.
Oh my God. Hey.
I always on Sunday night because Sundays, I normally just sit down and reflect and stuff. And I looked at him and I said, I called him by his name and I said, what are we doing? Like, what are you doing? Are we going to continue like this? Are you going to stop? You're not stop because at this time we should start posting to them, you know, on social media. And I said to him, you can't talk to her if you take them. We are married, you know. I can't force her to do what she don't want to do and I can't tell her what to do. At her page.
I don't understand this. Your husband is okay being married to you and having a full-blown relationship outside?
I don't know if he was okay with it, but at this...
He is okay with
obviously
it.
He was okay.
And he's telling you he can't control what
you post.
How about not going out with her? How about ending the relationship so there's nothing to post? How about that?
And he looked straight at me and first he asked me to give him 2 weeks to sort it out. And I said, and then he said, him don't know who to choose. So I said, oh, you don't know who to choose? Okay.
Let me choose for you.
I don't tell him, I am choosing me. I choose myself right now. And he said, what you mean? And I said, no worry yourself. And me and one of my co-workers, I have a call her name, she named Dana. I tell her, say, we walk every day, I look house.
Can you plan to move out?
Of course, I'm leaving. And I found a place. And I paid on it and I did what I'm supposed to do. And then when I was moving, I never tell him something I'm moving out. When the truck reach, you know, because him work night and sleep in the day. So when the truck reached, come in the after work, I went to 2 guys from my workplace and they went upstairs and they started moving out the things. And he wake up and him like, what's going on here? And I say, oh,
I'm choosing
me. I
me.
choose. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. And he all I'm Sandy, you can't do this. You can't do this. What are you doing? And I say, listen, we're done. And that was it. I chose myself at that time, and I've been choosing myself ever since.
I'm so lost for words right now because this just does not feel real. I cannot believe he could not choose between his wife and another female. He chose to marry you, you know. He made a vow before God.
It's not like a years after.
But he made a vow while full on loving somebody else. And now you're left to pick up the pieces. Could have lost your mind.
I almost, because it reached a point where I was at work and I just watch the clock to go home so I can go cry.
Jesus.
Just every day I there work, I reach and I just watch the time. I just want to reach home so I can go cry.
So you can just release. He doesn't want to release. But you're a mother. But you're a mother at the same time.
I have to go home and
be a mom and take care of your son. Jeez, I'm like heavy. I can't imagine that.
I was hurt bad when I moved out the February. Remember, I'm moving on, but I still move. I moved out the February, and her birthday is March, and the next month. Because then I'm still watch Facebook because I still love him.
I understand that.
They were color coded. Birthday party, exchanging a kiss and an exchange cake, bird feed and all these things. I'm just move out the February.
Listen.
I cried all night.
There's so many things going through my mind right now that I cannot speak on. Because our stories are similar in some sense, you know? Wow. This is crazy. He's okay. He moved on. He completely moved. And you're still married. You're still married, you know? And it was just so easy for him to just... That's not love. That's not love. So at this point, you're still able to pray? Are you? What's your relationship like with God?
Oh no, let me tell you something. Anytime I go through something, me draw closer to God, because He is my refuge. He is my I always look to Him, because that's where my help come from.
So do you feel like you made a mistake though of choosing the wrong person, or you feel like you had to go through this? Sitting here right now, how do you feel?
I think I was supposed to go through that. I think, and I do not regret. It might sound away now, but I do not regret.
No regrets.
I don't have any. The only regret, I don't regret our relationship. I regret the marriage. I'm sorry that we got married.
Yeah.
Right. So if she didn't reach out before the wedding day. Because now I have to find money to pay for divorce. And that's why I was holding out, because I never want to spend the money.
Yeah.
But now I decided to do the divorce. So
hold on, from that time till now,
divorce.
Why him don't do it? He doesn't want to?
I don't know. But
you guys don't communicate with him though?
Yeah, we talk.
Because your son's father.
So we still talk.
So you don't ask him, what's going on? You're not divorcing me? He doesn't...
Okay, so the first time I asked him about divorce, he was like, oh, I don't believe in a divorce, you know. That was funny.
Was he believe in cheating? What in the world is going on?
But no, he's okay with the divorce, and he is okay with us getting a divorce. So we are coming together now, and we're going to do the divorce.
How you don't believe in divorce, but you believe in cheating? Make it make sense. What kind of double standard is that? It's one way, no? It's one way. It's one way. You get married, you make a covenant, you're supposed to honor that. I know you're left. The man gone about in business, and the Bible give permission for you to walk away after cheating. I mean, he does say it's because of the hardness of our heart. So it's still forgivable, you know. But there's grace given where God understands the pain when somebody step out on a marriage and gone about them business.
Yeah. It was rough. But his mom, his family, his sister, oh my Lord.
They're supportive?
Very, very. Even now we are very close.
Wow.
Very close.
But you know, it's sad. It's truly sad because it could have been beautiful if he had just chosen to allow God to work on him. And I'm not going to make it sound like, people make mistakes. And I've heard of couples where somebody cheats, and whether it's male or female, and they take the other spouse back in, and they're willing to forgive, but then the person go back and over and over. It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. So, okay. So as a place now where there's no regrets, right? No, you're happy that the Lord has allowed this to happen because of where you're at now. But before we even get there, after you got separated, what was it like after that? What was your headspace like? How did you function? No, everybody knows. So how did you?
So everything started to come out now. Coworkers found out, friends, families, everyone know. And people call me, encourage me, and say, "Don't worry about it." And some were like, "Oh, you guys need to try again because I know you love each other." And right, but I was,
even though they're aware that he's with somebody else, they're saying you must try again.
no, before they know he was with some before they, because they're living together now. But before they lived together, they were encouraging us to like still try, and we were telling people that we can't get along. And like after this, it's just I keep nagging, and I don't trust him anymore. I didn't trust him, and I didn't want to continue because I didn't trust him. So it was very difficult to continue a relationship like that.
Wow.
And
so
then
what year this is now? Things are broken off the year after. This is what, 2021?
No, man, I moved out 2019.
Sorry, 2019.
Right.
Okay. So you moved out, you said February 2019. The birthday was the March when you're color-coded.
Yeah, they color-coded.
Color-coded.
And
you move out with your son.
Right.
Right? What was life like after? I know it would have taken a toll on you. We're talking about the stain of pain, right? How did it leave a mark on you, both emotionally, spiritually, and physically? We're going to get to especially the physically part.
All right. So, as I mentioned, I started to lose weight because I was always crying and worrying myself about it. But I was putting the best out because I am always putting the best out, no matter what I'm going through. Now, if you don't know me, you would know something I go through nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So it was just work as usual. Attend church. Not a Christian, but attend church with my son and just living.
And you're just coping.
Coping. Right, just coping. So it went on like that for a few years, and I was still working at the school. Then I had a business, and it started March, a few weeks before COVID. I opened a restaurant, and we had a smoothie bar, and then few weeks after, COVID came. And everywhere was shut down.
Yeah.
So that's right.
Wow.
And then I had left my job now too, because the restaurant was struggling, and I had workers.
Yeah, that would be depending on pay.
Right. So I said, you know what, I'm going to leave the job and focus on the business because I really wanted the business.
The passion
to work.
is about.
Right. And who told me to go leave my work? I left the work. The business failed miserably.
Wow.
Because before I left the work, I had to use my pay to pay the workers, so that was very difficult. So that never worked out, and then I wasn't working.
Wow.
And then I went in depression.
Jesus.
I went in depression.
How you know you were in depression though? Because you've been going through a lot of stuff. Why was it different this time around?
Because so my son was mostly with his grandmother. That's my husband's mother. And when he's there and I am home alone, I, like some mornings, we just decide to, because I'm not working at this time, right? I stopped working and I don't open the windows. I don't even want to come out of the bed.
Jesus.
I'm in the dark room and I just cry.
So, there's a difference, right?
And every day, and it's just that. And when anybody call me, my son all right, but as soon as I come up with the phone, I just start crying. I just start crying, and it's so hard to cope. Like some days, I just stay in the bed all day. Don't eat nothing at all. I was just and at that point I started to lose weight.
It took a toll on you.
It did, and then one day I can remember I sat in the living room, and I was on Google because I'm trying to Chat GPT is my friend now, but them time they never know about Chat GPT. So I was on Google looking, and I was like, best way to kill myself without feeling any pain.
Suicidal thoughts creepy? No.
At that point, yes. But then I thought about my son, and I was like, no, I can't do this to him.
So did you think of counseling for you, just for you this time around?
I thought about it, but at the time I was just for a few months. I was just locked in, and I was just struggling, and it was a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot. But normally, you see, once if I don't stay down for long, I don't. So when those thoughts creep in my head, I was like, "But God, no! Like, no."
Yeah.
So after a couple of weeks, I decided I was going to get up and try find myself a work and just get back out there, and and because my friends always checking in on me now, but I always tell them I'm alright.
Who that? Your friends or your parents?
My friends and families always checking.
Well, big up the friends and the family members out there.
Told them that I was okay and I was alright, but I was going through it, and I started to pray. And at this point, me not go to church none at all now,
Yeah, you're locked away completely.
I don't no church, nothing. I just
there, just existing. Where's the son is not there? So no, you can actually, and maybe you're depressed all this time. No, even before, but because your son was there, you had to kind of just shape up and just, be your best self for him.
I tried.
You tried, but no, he's gone to live with, his grandma, and now you're like, I can finally just sink in. But you sink in depression.
Yes, because even on weekends, he would come home. And then after a while, I don't want him to come home on weekends because I just don't want anybody around me. And I love my son, but I didn't want anyone. I didn't want anyone around me. And then one day I just get up and said, no, I'm not going to do this to myself. No. And then I started to look jobs, and I ended up at a call center. And when I was at the call center, I was still looking something. So I am now, where I work now?
Well, no.
ODPEM.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so I got a job there at ODPEM, and then things started to change for me. And I just take my time to put my life back together. And
were you still carrying hurt though? So even though you pick up the pieces, you're not trying to survive because you say, I cannot let this, be the end of me. But how are you really feeling deep down? Are you still emotionally hurt? Are you still carrying unforgiveness, bitterness when you think about it? You know.
I am not, no.
Okay.
So I have forgiven him, forgiven her, and I am not bitter. He will say that I'm bitter because we can't agree. We can't agree. So sometimes we start talk and then we get in an argument.
You bump heads on certain things.
Yeah, so we can't agree. So she thinks I'm bitter. She thinks I'm still hurt and all
She
these
thinks
things.
you're still hurt, but she's coming to you to
at the time but no, she probably think I'm still jealous or whatever it is. I don't know.
No, she has a problem because she was okay being with a man who was fully married. So her perspective has been thwarped from day one.
But fast forward to start working at ODPEM, and then I met some great people, and get out of my shell, and I'm there now, and started to visit church now and again. I wanted to go to a church, but I didn't know where I wanted to. I wanted to go somewhere where I was comfortable. And when in 2024, right, I started to feel, we can go to this, right?
Yeah, man.
I started to feel some type of way in my body. And I keep going to the doctors, and over I keep going to the doctors. And when I stand up in line long, I feel like my back start to hurt me. I just start to feel sick. When I was wondering what's wrong, and I keep going over and over to the doctors, and no one could really tell me what the problem was.
So it wasn't pain? You weren't feeling pain? It was just discomfort?
Discomfort, not pain, just discomfort. And the time my life just start get back together. I just feel like I started to feel like myself again. Because after so many years of grieving my failed marriage, but just start feel like, yes.
And it's not just your failed marriage, you know, Sandra, there's so much, everything.
Right. And honestly, 2024, from 2019 to 2023, 4, I just started to feel like myself again in 2024. 2023. Starting from there, I started to feel like myself again. And I was like, I'm happy. I was at a place where I was happy.
You're no crawling out of that place. Let's call it that place.
Right. And I was happy. I was all right. I was okay.
Yeah.
And then I went to my gynecologist and she was like, oh, it's nothing serious and it's just you have abnormal cells. There's nothing to worry about. It's all right. But based on how I was feeling, I know something was wrong. So I went home. And of course, I went to Google again. I went to Google again and then I came upon this word colposcopy. That's a test that you normally do to see if everything is all right. I went to her and I told her I wanted to do that test. And she was like, no, why you want to do that test? It's for persons who think they have cancer, this, that, whatever. And I was like, I want to do it. And she gave me a referral for UE. I went to UE and I did some tests. And I got the diagnosis that I had cancer. I had cancer, yes. I sat in the chair. And I was like, what?
Did it cross your mind though? That you might have had it?
Yes. That's why I wanted to do the colposcopy.
You just never liked how you felt?
No.
But it could have been anything else, you know, Sandra.
That's exactly what she told me.
It could have been anything else, but something just, you felt a sense of urgency.
All right. To be honest, I suffer from anxiety. I'm always anxious. And I think the worst nowadays, since everything. So everything happened, it's the worst case scenario for me in my head. Right? So I started to read and I'm like, no man, signs and symptoms of. And then I had a aunt who had it.
Oh.
The same cancer.
And
she lives in England. So when I was told I had cancer, I was shocked because even though I was thinking about it, I was hoping it was not that.
Listen, the enemy just throwing darts after darts after darts. At this point, you're like, God, how you feel? How did you really feel? So you sat, when you saw those results, like, what went through your mind? Were you, because remember you said you're normally able to pray and you draw closer to God. Did this draw you even closer?
So the day when she told me, at that moment when she told me my diagnosis, I broke down, of course. I started to cry. And she was like, do you have any children? I said, I have a son. And she said, do you believe in God?
Who said that? The doctor?
The doctor.
Wow.
Up by you. She said, do you believe in God? And I said, I do. She said, all right, if you believe in God, I believe in God, you're going to be okay.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that.
A doctor who normally believe in science reminded you in the doctor room to trust God.
I will never forget
to trust God.
She looked straight at me.
Wow. So I'm sure that would have uplifted you. And that's so unexpected. So even in the midst of grief and pain and chaos and hurt and confusion, he sent the doctor right there and then to tell her to trust me, God, I'm here. So from there, what did the journey look like?
All right, so when I went home, because I had to process this, you know. So I went home, and my mom was overseas at the time. Right, she was overseas, and I didn't come up further. I didn't say anything to him. So I went home, and I was like, all right, what next? So I asked them to move in.
Your parents?
Right, without telling them. I didn't tell them anything.
What?
Not yet. I asked them.
So why ask them to move in? Why?
So all right. So Where I was living, I had more space. So where they really, because I didn't want to be alone at this point, no.
Okay,
I
that's
know
what I
the
was
journey I was
wondering.
start. And from a reach home, I decided, say, I'm going to get better and it's going to take a while.
Okay.
And there are some things that I will need to do.
Okay. So you're gonna need the support.
Right. So after a couple of days, and my mom we talked on the phone, and then she came back to Jamaica, and we were talking, and I told her at this time, and she told daddy. I did not tell daddy. She told daddy, and then I asked them to move in to live with me. So my son, I wanted my son close.
Yeah.
So when they moved in, I went for my son, and he moved in back as well. Because I needed help.
Yeah.
Because remember me, I work now, and I go all the way to Kingston and back and forth. So I needed my son close to me at this time. And a part of me never sure how it will turn out. So I just say, you know what, I want my family.
Listen,
I want
we're talking
them close.
about the big C here, you know? So, and we know what that's like in terms of there's so many other people who we know. So I'm sure even though you heard this, so many things crossed your mind.
So even though I know that I'm going to trust God and everything, I was still like, anything can happen. Even the surgery, something could have gone wrong.
So they had mentioned surgery?
I did a total hysterectomy, a radical hysterectomy.
Wow.
A radical hysterectomy. So my parents moved in by then, and then I started, going to the clinic more regular. So I was diagnosed in 2024, May, June, because right after burial. Burial came.
Right, yes, it's around that time.
The month after, because I was supposed to go to the clinic on the day of burial. Right, but nobody now record storm go on everything, and I went on a walkthrough with the minister in St. Elizabeth in June. And I was there. I was walking through, and I'm not gonna forget this day. My director general at the time, Richard Thompson, I was standing beside him. I was standing beside Mr. Richard Thompson, and he was the first person outside of my parents who knew.
Wow.
I was standing beside him, and I was like, "Sir, is the Sandra walking me all right?" I walked through with the minister and other ministers and so forth. We're walking through to see the damages and stuff. He said, "You know, so I have cancer." He looked at me and said, "What you just say?" He said, "So I have cancer." He said, "Sandra, what you mean? What you mean? What you talking about? What you mean?" And then I started to cry.
Wow.
So at that time, reality hit me.
It's starting to hit.
Yeah.
My God. By the way, was it early stages?
Yes. So thank God. It was early stage 1. It was
Guys,
stage 1.
Listen to your body. Pay attention to your body.
So with uterine cancer of the uterine, with that type of cancer now, it will affect, your womb, your cervix,
the whole
everything down.
Yeah.
Right. So before the surgery, they asked me, "Do you want another child?" And I was like, "Why?" Because we normally, when you only have one, we ask you to, even though you have the cancer, to have another one. And I said, "No. Let's get going. Let's do the surgery. Let's get it out."
They normally encourage you to have another one.
Yes. Oh. They don't want to take out unless you have to sign paper, because they don't want to say, "Oh, we did want one more pin."
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we did the surgery in August, and they took out. They did what?
The whole womb.
They took out everything, right? So no more kids for me, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I had to do brachytherapy.
What's that?
Okay, that's because chemotherapy, radiotherapy.
Yes,
so brachytherapy is one where they put some metals in your body, and you have to lay on your back for 48 hours without moving.
48 hours?
That drew me closer to God. So that's when I know that where He is where I want to be. But just want
in those moments is when you could have you laid there, you reflected.
Because I was alone. There was no one in the room.
For how long is it? 48 hours?
48 hours.
Straight?
Straight. I can only move my hand. I can't move anywhere else but my hand and my head.
So you eat?
So I can turn. They can't eat.
So you on drip?
No, so they put you to sleep.
Wow.
They inserted some things, and the nurse, she can't come in the room for maybe a second just to give you the injection and run out back. Because there's a lot of, what you call that?
Is it like radiation kind of thing?
But it's internal radiation.
I've never heard that before.
So I did brachytherapy. So they put me to sleep. When I woke up, the metals were already inside, and they had some juice and water, so that I can't move. I just have to lay on my back for the entire 2 days. So I cover my head under the sheet for the 2 days straight and just watch the time. I sleep, I wake up, and that was it.
All right, so you're not feeling anything though?
No pain because the doctors, it's uncomfortable, but no pain because they keep giving me this strong injection.
Yeah.
Where I got like addicted to it. I wanted it. I just wanted the injection because I didn't want to feel the pain. So once they inject me, I'm all right.
Internal radiation. So it's supposed to be it's killing the cancer cells inside.
And that was the December 2024 after the surgery.
Wow. So even after they removed your womb, you still had to undergo radiation. This is what, just to make sure that everything is gone. Basically, that's the reason why.
That's the reason why. And, you know, my cancer journey is something, because even the doctors and the nurses, they said they never see anyone go through cancer like I did.
I'm sitting here like,
because
dumbfounded by the fact that, girl, look at you.
But none of that. You see, after I come out of the hospital, so I came out of the hospital, I think it was like the 13th of December. And then our dinner, work dinner, was like in the 20s, early, and I went.
You went?
I mean, I fixed up myself, like, I wasn't feeling any pain, I was alright, I'm good, I may get up, I may go fix up my hair. I did it myself. I catch up my hair and I go buy something to glow, because I like
the press on nails.
I go buy the press on and I say,
and fix up
and say, to go to a nice long dress out of my closet. And
so, alright, so the radiation, sitting there or laying there for 48 hours, it gave you the opportunity to draw even closer to God. I mean, that's a lot of time to just lay there. You can pray, you can talk to Him, you can, all of that.
Because He's all that you have at that time, you know, nobody else.
Right. So no, you're not at a place where your relationship with God is, you know what just came to me a while ago? It's so funny how it's in these moments of hurt, and look what the Lord gave you an opportunity. I mean, sickness came, yes, but it drew you even closer to Him. Laying there for 48 hours where it's just you and Him. No, you have no other choice but to depend on who? God.
And you know, the funny thing is, no matter what you go through and how you turn your back on Him, He's always there.
There's a scripture. If you make your bed in hell, I will be there. So one could say, yeah, persons might say, boy, Sandra shouldn't get married to whoever, or, boy, Sandra should have stayed in church. At the end of the day, your story is yours, and it's for God's glory, and He chose this path for you. Because look at you now. There are people out there now going through something similar, but you can look and say, listen, I've been there, and if I've gotten through it with Christ,
trust me.
Can you.
Yes, because after the brachytherapy, I had to do chemo and radiotherapy.
Wow. Wait, so radiotherapy?
Radiation therapy and chemotherapy.
So why for the radiation and you do the what you call it? Yeah, that's
because so even though it was stage 1, when they went inside, it was stage 2. Sorry.
Oh.
So it was diagnosed stage 1, but it was so bigger than 1 when they went inside. So just to stay on the safe side.
They just wanted to make sure it's gone.
Right.
So did you end up, that's a lot, chemo, radiation, the what you call it?
Brachytherapy.
Did you lose weight, your hair? Were you looking different?
Yes, better. So when I got sick, I started to glow. I don't know why, but so when I was doing chemotherapy.
Grace.
Hey, God's grace. Grace. So I drove myself every day, because I did the radiation therapy. It was for 5 weeks. 25 sessions. So 5 sessions.
That's intense.
Yes.
Wow.
Every day, Monday to Friday. So I have to drive from Maypen, go all the way at 2 hospitals. So I have to go to not UA at this time. I have to go to KPH for chemotherapy on Tuesdays. Monday to
When
Fridays.
after work?
No man, at this time I got some time off.
Oh, okay.
So I got time off and I started my sessions. So I had 5 chemotherapy and 25 sessions of radiotherapy. So Monday to Friday, every day I go to I go to KPH and St. Joseph. So St. Joseph is where I do radiotherapy.
Intense.
So every day.
How is your family in all this? They're seeing you going through all of this. What's it like for them?
Oh, okay. So they were very supportive. My mom, you see my mother? You see mothers?
Mother will always be a mother.
Mommy
She was there.
Even though she still wanted everything for me. Watch cook, clean everything.
Wow.
She makes some...
Her one daughter, oh you mean?
Every day she make this big jug of, what's the leaf called? Soursop leaf.
I was about to say soursop. I heard that's good enough.
She feed me. I drink soursop leaves till.
Jesus.
I drank soursop leaf.
I hear that tea is good for like cancer cells and stuff like that. My mom always mentioned.
So
she just want to make sure that you're okay. So how are you now? Are you still going through that process?
So still have to go and do my checkup. So I now attend 2 different hospitals. So I go to I have clinic at KPH and at UE. So some
the checkups just to make sure everything is good.
Just to make sure. But the last time I checked, I'm good.
Thank God.
I'm good. The last time I checked, I'm good. God has been
God
so good.
is good.
God is good.
Sandra.
God is good. And that's okay. So October. Last year, October now. So I found this church from while I was doing chemotherapy, before I started chemotherapy last year, I started to attend this church. Someone told me about it. The moment I started going to that church, it felt like home.
Wow.
It felt like home. When I say like home, I mean like
you
home.
Found your church home.
I found my family, my second family.
Wow. Which church is that?
Church of God International.
Okay. You mentioned at the beginning.
Yes.
Look at that. So you're now able to fellowship. You have support from family and friends, and you have support from your church family. Fellowship is important, because guess what? Iron sharpens iron. That's biblical.
And I got baptized last October.
You recommitted your life.
Yes, so we have this thing called Feast of the Tabernacles. So we're 1 week, we go, it's like a convention thing. So we went to the hotel, and then...
That's for the convention?
For the convention.
Okay.
And I got baptized there on the 9th of October.
Recommitted, fresh start, ready to just take on this whole journey. Seriously, no turning back. Listen, let's name them, right?
I have no reason.
Let's name them. Childhood trauma, got engaged, and he died.
Yes.
And then you got married, right? Then divorced. Well, when I reached the divorce part yet, separated in 9 months.
Right.
On the road to divorce. No. Got sick. And you're here.
And the devil tried after me again, It's after I'm baptized in the same October. They show you you can't give the devil a strength,
I wonder if you realize the mantle that you have been given over your life, though.
No, but let me show you.
The mantle that God has given you, Sandra.
Him have plans for me now. Let me tell you how I know him have plans for me. I work right through the storm. Melissa. And I was tired. And my brother, he lives in Westmoreland. He was stranded. We couldn't hear from him, nothing, everything. And then when we finally heard from him, he was hungry, tired, this, that, all of things. But nobody tired, And I set out the morning and I drove all the way to Westmoreland. I found him, and when he got in the car, because I had bought him food, so he was eating. And I told him, I said, I'm tired, I'm going to let you drive, but eat first. We were on our way coming down, it started to rain. I know we're wrapping up, I'm just going to show you how God good. It started to rain, and he said he was thirsty. He never want the juice, he didn't want water, so he was constantly looking for a shop. We were driving down, and it was raining, so the AC had to turn on.
Yeah.
I'm tired, but me just a push it.
Yeah.
Because me say eat first, everything
Yeah.
alright. When it stopped rain, we exchange. We reach Brampton, almost St. Elizabeth, you know, coming all the way from Westmoreland, you know. So, you know, we reach far now, come home.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but he told me that he was looking behind him at a shop because he wanted to see if it was open. But I was sleeping. I was sleeping. I only heard when my brother screamed out and said, "Sister, look what you do." Like, shout out. I'm gonna wake up because me think me don't want to sleep. Like, I don't know.
Hold on, who driving?
I was driving.
Jesus.
And I fell asleep. I fell
my
asleep.
God.
So I was just driving and I was sleeping. So when him called up my name now, me jump out of my sleep. I didn't know where I was. I thought I was home. Sleeping.
But you were around the steering wheel?
I was around the steering wheel.
Jesus.
And we ran straight into the truck.
You ran straight into the truck?
Straight into the truck. We ran, the truck was parked on my side though. It was parked along the side.
Right.
And I came up the road.
You swear.
And I ran straight in the truck.
My God.
Even though, but still I wonder, because even the truck driver say, like, when him see the door pull and I come out, like, he must say,
how is that possible?
How is that possible?
The car total? Airbag flying, everything?
Airbag flying his side, on my side, everything.
What?
Him say, when him see the impact,
he must say everybody dead.
Yeah, so him did shock because somebody else in the car and him saying, hold him, in the truck and him saying, hold him head. Like, he must say, Jesus. Him say, when he see the door open, and when he see me step out, like, he must say,
not any scratches, any bruise, any broken, anything?
just my fingernail break.
Oh, Jesus.
Just my fingernail break. You see someone say, God mercies kept me?
Yeah. So I'm here today because he kept me.
Because there's no way you cannot sleep and that
head-on collision. Come on.
And you come out with only my fingernail
break.
Only my fingernail
How's
break.
your brother?
And me I walk strong and he was fine. He was okay. Him come out as well. And I said, oh my God, sister. And him hook me up.
Nobody but God. Nobody but God, Sandra.
Nobody but God.
So even after, and let me tell you something, you know, you better understand that because of the testimony that you have, because of the life that you've lived, and because of the clearly, how should I even put it? Because of what the Lord has entrusted you with, the enemy is gonna come after that purpose. See, even after you're baptized, I'm saying, what you take this thing for?
Yeah.
And he's still.
I said, look here, you can't stop me now. Nothing can stop me now because after everything that God has brought me through, there's nothing at all.
One thing I admire about you is that throughout every season of your life, even though you were not in church, even though one can say you did turn your back on God, you know, he was still there, you know, but you never lost your praise. You were constantly, almost every single time that you mentioned something traumatic happening in your life, you mentioned that you were still worshiping, singing. What's your favorite song again that you mentioned?
Sheltered in the arms of God.
For I'm sheltered in the arms of God. That's a beautiful hymn. I love that hymn. Yeah. Covered, and the Lord says, be still. Your favorite scripture says, be still and know that I am God.
Yeah. There's
nothing too hard.
And you know, the other verse, you see the scripture that says, the scripture that I love, and it is leading me now. Seek ye first
the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And everything else.
So that's where I am at now in my life.
One criteria. Seek ye first.
Seek ye first.
Mm-hmm. Seek ye first. Everything else will just add up. It will just align. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, seek ye first.
So Sandra, after all the turmoil that you have been, first of all, I said it before, the Lord will never give you more than he can bear. Sandra, he knew you could handle this. And he knew that you would be here to testify about this. God know what me can't handle, you know. Because when I went through what I went through after my marriage ended in what, 3 months, I was devastated.
3 months.
3 months. And I was like, Jesus. I was like, how am I gonna function? I was a wreck. But Sandra, come on now. I'm not comparing, you know, but if I put myself in your situation, I don't know where I would be. And I know God will carry me through, but emotionally, you handle it so well. I don't say I crash out sometimes still. You said it. But God. And He graced you for it. Girl, look at you glowing.
Because even when I'm at work, because I'm always this, like, chirpy person.
Bubbly, yeah.
Very bubbly. So sometimes I say, you didn't have cancer like you. Because even through, when I was doing chemotherapy, one day I stopped at the office. Because I'm not going to do chemo and I fix up myself and I miss. All the nurses them love me now.
You take this to a different.
Yeah, I fix up myself and the nurses
It's
love
almost
me,
like
everybody.
you see it as a little dating session, you know, between you and God. I think you put a whole new meaning.
I'm telling you.
You told yourself, listen, God, I'm me and you in this. All right, God, what we gonna talk about today? That's the impression I'm getting.
I'm telling you. Trust me.
It was not your session to be alone with God. No work, no son, no drama, just me and you. And you use that session, those 48 hours, those 25 sessions for the 5 weeks. Those were the moments you chose to just dive in and just sink yourself completely and just get lost in His presence.
Okay, God love me too much. How say Him love me?
They sing that in the church now, just you love me too much. Oh,
Him love me. Alright, so just a little. When I did my surgery, from that I developed this thing like I can't manage a bus, the enclosed thing. So I didn't buy the car as it, right? So I was taking the bus to work before, and after the surgery, I realized I can't manage the bus. And
why? Is it anxiety or is it claustrophobic?
Claustrophobic.
Oh.
And right as I'm supposed to go back to work, one girl let me know called me and said she started work at Adpem now. She live across from me.
Wow. God
she drive, you know. And she came back to work every single morning and came back every day.
Listen, when God fixes you up, it's God. It's nobody else but God. Nobody else but God.
Until I buy my own vehicle. She bring me every day, morning and evening, until I buy my own.
Wow.
And I said, God, you're
full
good
restoration.
And he proved himself over to me over and over. So there's no reason.
And Sandra, let me tell you something. Nobody come out of church again.
Me.
Nobody come out of church again.
I love God so much.
Stay right at His feet.
Yeah.
There's a scripture, Jeremiah 30, verse 17. But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord, because you are called an outcast, Zion for whom no one cares. Isaiah 53 verse 5 says, but He was pierced for our transgressions, and He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on Him, and by His wounds, by His stripes, we are healed. So we're declaring healing going forward, and we're receiving that for you. We're declaring that for you. Going forward, healing. No more cancer cells. None. That's it. Done, we're done right there. So, but this has given you the opportunity to grow deeper in Christ. Your relationship with God, different now. Different. When you testify to somebody, in a girl, listen, I want you to encourage persons watching. What would you say to somebody, it could be a male or a female, going through a rough time? It could be sickness, it could be marriage, it could be childhood trauma. What is the advice that you give them to just stay the course, to get through what they're going through?
All right. So first of all, I normally tell myself that it could be worse.
Yeah.
It could be worse. So no matter what you're going through, I'm just talking in general now to anyone. It can be sickness, it can be a failed marriage, no matter what you're going through. It could be worse. Just trust God. Pray and trust God, because once you believe, everything will be fine.
Yeah, faith.
Even though I've been through so much, I don't have a lot to say more than trust God. You have to have faith, trust and believe, and you will be fine.
Yeah. Just like
Trust
that.
and believe, and you'll be fine.
God's got you, no matter what. Even if you're the one who made the bed in hell, He said, "I will be there." And I'm saying it again because I've said it week after week. If you're not a Christian and you're watching, I encourage you to give your life to Christ. We're talking about the one true and living God, the one who sent His Son to die for our sins, right? That's the reason why we can go through what we're going through and look the way that we look. I shouldn't be sitting here either. What I went through should have literally, I probably could have been crazy. You went through so much, back to back to back from year 12. And look at you now. Nobody but God. Guys, do not wait until you are going through what you're going through to serve God. Do it now. Do it now. And I know there are persons out there, maybe you're going through sickness, you're going through marital issues, you're going through work stress, depression, suicidal thoughts. Listen. Let go and let God. It sounds cliche, but it literally takes just trusting Him. Surrender. Surrender your all. Give it to God. Surrender your thoughts, your very thought process. Talk to Him like how we're talking here now. Tell Him how you're feeling. And say, God, I'm trusting you with it, but you have to believe. You have to believe. Listen, the record has proven it. He has never failed. He has never failed. Ever. The other religions out there, they have no track record. The other gods have no track record to prove healing and deliverance and sustaining and none of that. None of them can testify to any of this. But our God, the only God. And Sandra, I'm declaring that because you have been obedient and because you have been willing to come and release this, just you sitting here, I believe you're releasing it. You're letting go of, if there was any even ounce of unforgiveness or hurt, you said you don't have any, but even if there was any deep in any little crevice or corner, because you have decided to come and share, I'm declaring that every single bit of it is gone. Because guess what? Heaven can't miss being a girl. And we're not taking over on a man problems. We're not taking over any of those. We cannot afford to miss heaven because of anybody else. So I'm happy that you're at a place now where you're back in church. The Lord has given you a church home. And yeah, I'm happy about that. Continue trusting God. Continue testifying. God is going to provide persons to come and have one-on-one conversations with you. Perhaps going through similar, situations. And be willing and open to share and just talk about God. Boast about God. Boast about Him.
Of course. After everything.
After everything.
Of course.
What an episode. What an episode. This was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for watching yet another episode of Let's Be Real Journey Unfiltered. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Place all of your feedback, your comments, your thoughts. Hello, leave some encouragement in the comment section for Sandra.
And don't give up on yourself.
Yes.
Do not give up on yourself. No.
Yeah.
Don't give up on yourself. Because God is not going to give up on you.
Same way.
So don't give up on yourself.
Don't give up on yourself. And we're going to end it right there. Thank you, Sandra, so much for being here. It was an honor.
Thank you for having me.
Such a big testimony. I love it. Guys, stay tuned for the next episode.